Good morning and welcome. As we begin, I'd like us all to reflect on the fact that we are gathering here on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin Anishinaabe people. This has been their land and their home for thousands of years. My name is Jeff Turner. I am the chair of the board of the Ottawa Centre. I welcome you all here today, and on behalf of the Centre, our board, our tenant agencies, and our performance venue operator, Lisa Zabetnew, I extend a heartfelt welcome and thank you to Yasser Naqvi and his team and the Government of Canada. This thanks is not for us. It is for the 20,000 people who come through our doors every month. Bronson Centre has become home to all of us in many ways, and in ways we could hardly have imagined. I've been involved in this facility for over 20 years. It has become the heart of Ottawa. And we should extend our sincere thanks to the sisters of the Grey Sisters of the Immaculate Conception, who founded Immaculata High School, where we are right now, almost 100 years ago. And in 1996, they founded the Bronson Centre, and the legacy of all their great work continues through us today. The Canadian Community Revitalization Fund recognizes us as an integral part of our shared heritage. With this investment from the Government of Canada, we are creating a walk-through, welcoming experience for everyone who comes to the Bronson Centre. From the new lighting just now being installed at the Bronson Avenue streetscape, to the new main entrance, to the fire and soundproof doors in this venue itself, and even going way to the back to the service area, to the loading docks. We're back, we're past the pandemic, and we're ready to roll, and we're welcoming people. This venue we're in right now is open to 1,000 people for every show, but that hardly counts everyone who comes. People from all backgrounds and all walks of life come to the Bronson Centre. As our colleagues at Somerset West Community Health and Sparks Live know, as a community of service agencies, we all make Ottawa Centretown a wonderful place to live, work, and play. Again, many thanks to the Government of Canada and Yasser Naqvi and his team. It is now my great pleasure to introduce our special guest, Yasser. Yasser Naqvi is a Member of Parliament for Ottawa Centre, a diverse urban community in the heart of the nation's capital. Yasser and his family arrived in Canada in 1988 from Pakistan, after the government there imprisoned his father for leading a pro-democracy march. With an upbringing deeply rooted in the values of democracy, social justice, and compassion, Yasser knows how important it is to be involved in the community and to give back. Yasser's passion for his community resulted in him being elected as the Member of Provincial Parliament for Ottawa Centre in October 2007. He was re-elected in 2011 and 2014. We met, Yasser and I, while I worked at United Way Ottawa. It was the launch of Kindness Week, and Yasser's first ever event as a novice MPP. It was there he met the late Rabbi Reuben Bolka, who became a mentor for the young member of the legislature. On February 22nd, 2011, Yasser introduced a bill declaring Kindness Week in Ontario. He went on to support the efforts of the Rabbi, Senator Jim Munson, and myself to establish a bill declaring the third week of February National Kindness Week in Canada, the first country in the world to do so. All this to say, it makes perfect sense that he is here with us, that he is engaged with us, and he is so supportive of this facility and the work that we do. So much to help so many. And with that, I would ask you to please welcome my friend Yasser Naqvi.
Well, thank you very much, Jeff. You've always been known for your kindness and great friendship, and I'm very appreciative to have known you for so many years, and I've worked with you on so many important community initiatives, and Kindness Week is I think one of the most important things that we have done and especially the leadership of late Rabbi Bilka, who has been such an incredible leader in our community and have taught so many of us how to help build our community by bringing people together from all backgrounds, and that's what Rabbi Bilka was about. Jeff and I were just speaking earlier, and we were just remembering the rabbi, the late rabbi, and the impact that he made in our lives and in so many Ottawans. So may he rest in peace. Thank you to Bronson Center for hosting us here today, and I do also want to acknowledge that we are gathered on the unceded and unsurrendered territory of the Algonquin and Anishinaabe peoples. It's extremely important for us to recognize the land we live on and the original stewards of this land, so that we can be resolved to learn from the indigenous peoples of this beautiful land and be equal partners with them in maintaining and sustaining this land as well as they did for millennia. So it's an important responsibility as settlers that we bore. Bronson Center, as many would know, is a very special place for all of us. I've been coming to Bronson Center as a local elected representative, but as an individual as well for decades now, whether it is for community events or in memoriam of some important community leader who may no longer be with us, or just for political debates or political activism. Bronson Center has been a place for so many people, not to mention the incredible community organizations like Orchestra and others who are housed at Bronson Center, who are doing such amazing work across our city. And this is the seed, this is the place where that seed germinates. And so thank you to everybody who's involved with Bronson Center for the work we're doing. And I think that ties in really well with the announcement we're making today through Government of Canada's Community Revitalization Fund. We know that our community places like Bronson Center or Dalhousie Community Center or Spark Street are a key asset for all of us to continue to live in an inclusive community. All these places, organizations were integral in providing key services to our community during the pandemic. We knew before the pandemic that these organizations and the people behind them are important to our community. But I think we learned a lot during the pandemic that how we would have not survived, perhaps, or have lived through that very difficult time that our community was facing during the pandemic without the key and integral services these community organizations provide every single day to the members of our community, especially those of us who live in Centertown. And that is why I feel very strongly, personally as a local member of parliament, that we invest in these great community spaces to make sure that they're ready for the years ahead and the challenges ahead, that they continue to serve our community in the manner in which they have done in the past, especially during the pandemic. So the announcement today, which is a little under $875,000, that's going to 3 organizations: Bronson Center, Somerset West Community Health Center, and Spark Street VIA, is really important in investing in those community places. Whether it's Bronson Center making this particular facility more accessible and more attractive for people to come and use the important services that are provided, or the work that Somerset West Community Health Center is doing as part of the Dalhousie Community Center to create an industrial kitchen that will be able to serve more members of the community that live in that ever-changing neighborhood which has some significant needs. It's really important. Or the work Spark Street VIA is doing in making downtown attractive again for people to come and help revitalize our downtown by creating a public space, a public park just around Spark Street. All these things are so important that I think helps us and guide us to move forward through the pandemic and just have a brighter future ahead and create those opportunities for those inclusive spaces for people to live in. So I'm just thankful to all of you for your leadership. My job always has been to work with you, and I cannot just stress how incredible partners all of you have been, and your creativity and your ideas, and in the little way that that I, as a local member of parliament and government of Canada, could help with these investments I think it's just speaks to what partnerships can accomplish, and I look forward to. I know there's a lot more projects that we're working on, and their needs are, and I look forward to continue working with you. So thank you very much, and congratulations to everyone for this really important funding, and look forward to more such announcements, not for the sake of announcements, but to recognize the important work is happening, and those investments that are very important and necessary in these important community organizations. So thank you. I'm going to now ask my good friend Corey Mabel, who is the Executive Director of Ottawa Centre, to come forward, and then we'll also be hearing from Nini Cloutier, who is the Executive Director of Somerset West Community Health Centre, who I should remind everyone is retiring very soon, which is a huge loss for our community, because Nini has been an incredible leader, but this is a much deserved break, but I'm confident we will see her remain involved and engaged in many community initiatives, leveraging her expertise. So Nini, thank you very much for your community service. And then we'll be also hearing from Kevin McHale, who is the Executive Director of Sparks PIA. So Corey, may I have a response? Corey.
Thank you, Yasser, and my colleagues and friends. I'm really privileged to be able to share with you what the significance of this CCRF project funding has done for us. Particularly, you've heard some of these things, so if we repeat, well, it's just so you get the message how important it is that these types of things, this funding goes such a long way. The Bronson Centre CCRF project really focused essentially on the revitalization of our mid-sized performance venue, which we are standing in, and which actually is embedded in our 45,000 square feet community hub located here in Ottawa Centre. So with the CCRF support, we're upgrading our 1960s theatre doors to contemporary sound and fire standards, upgrading our waste management system and loading bay at the rear of our building, retrofitting our exterior lighting for safety and public appeal, enhancing our 1 block long heritage stone facade. The CCR project directly benefits our 35 permanent tenants and their thousands of clientele. That's really why we're here and what we do, and it's so important. Project improves night safety for the building exterior lighting and environmental sanitation. The performance venue generates surplus revenues used for maintenance of our entire facility. So when you come and you're enjoying a concert, you're actually helping 35 other organizations continue to do their thing. And I think that's an awesome win. As a charity, we and our tenants serve over 20,000 people, as Jeff alluded to, every month, who come for services, youth programs, seniors events, and we even host a food bank, which is happening just outside our door in the lobby as we speak. Public audiences from all walks of life and cultural backgrounds are enjoying our performance venue reopening, which closed as a result of the pandemic. With new sound and fireproof doors and better lighting, not only will our venue meet world-class standards, but will also contribute to a quieter, more livable, and more diverse neighborhood. So I want to take this opportunity once again to thank you, Yasser, and your awesome team for supporting this important initiative, and in particular supporting the Bronson Centre at this time. And so that's all I have to say, but I would like to now, I have the privilege of inviting Nini Cloutier, who, as Yasser alluded to, won't be with us very much longer, but from the Somerset West Community Health Centre, and she's going to share her wonderful things going on at the Centre.
Thank you so much, Corey, for the introduction, and thank you to Bronson Centre for also hosting today's event. And I wanted to say that Somerset West provides health and social services in this area and has regional programs as well. But I also wanted to say thank Yasser for the kind words. Throughout my career, Yasser has always shown up, when the need has been in the community, and has always been an encouraging force. So it's wonderful that I have the opportunity and privilege to thank the Government of Canada and Yasser for the generous funding for the Somerset, so that the Somerset West Community Health Centre is able to install an industrial kitchen in our hub at the Dalhousie Centre. And this kitchen will be used for a range of Somerset West programming as well as the general community. And the Dalhousie Centre is an intergenerational hub for the community with programming on site, spanning every age group from infants to seniors, and primarily serving low-income families and individuals. And this updated space will provide opportunity for social benefits as people come together to participate in group cooking classes, workshops on how to make affordable, nutritious meals, and many community cultural celebrations that are so important for the vitality of a neighborhood. And certainly we look forward to many of those. And the impact of this investment will be tremendous for the children, youth, families, and individuals in our community. It will improve access to affordable and culturally appropriate food, and this is especially important right now when there are rising costs for food and increasing food security. Also, this kitchen meets all infection prevention and control standards, and the funding also made it possible for us to update the electrical and HVAC systems in the building, which will result in more energy efficient lighting, heating, cooling. And as we continue to navigate out of the COVID-19 pandemic, the Dalhousie Community Centre will play a key role in re-engaging community members, decreasing isolation, and supporting community-based food security. So on behalf of the Board of Directors of Somerset West Community Health Centre, I would like to express our sincere gratitude for this investment that the Government of Canada has made to this very important historical building, the Dalhousie Centre, which is a key asset in our community, just like Bronson Centre. And we need to be very cognizant of all these wonderful community spaces where people can gather and build community connections and also, of course, build community. So thank you again for this wonderful investment, and I will now like to introduce Kevin McHale, who is the Executive Director of Spark Streets BIA.
I don't want to worry anyone, it's not that long, but I forgot the papers, I'll bring the computer up. Thank you very much. It's actually very humbling to be here when we hear the amazing projects that we just heard about today. In 2018, Sparks and the City of Ottawa City Council and the NCC Board approved a public realm plan for Spark Street, and then essentially COVID hit and delayed many of our projects. And part of that plan was looking at making Spark Street more integrated once again into the center town community. It was perceived as being just a space for the federal government employees, Monday to Friday, and no one else. Our boards realized that that's wrong. There's a vibrant community down here that's looking for a front yard, as we like to say, with limited amount of public spaces in the core. We have 5 beautiful pedestrian blocks, and we wanted to bring those to standard. But with the public realm plan on delay, we were not going to be held back on that. And as Yasser alluded to, there's a list of projects a mile long, and I'm pleased to talk about 2 of them today. With the financial support of the Community Revitalizations Fund, the Spark Street Mall Authority and BIA were able to bring shade and play back to Spark Street. Over the last year, we built 2 green zones featuring Muskoka chairs, beautiful planters made from locally sourced cedar. These planters feature a variety of annual flowers and vines along with 8 trees. They really create an opportunity for shade in a space that's very barren and full of concrete and interlocked stone, and they've been an instant success. In addition to our green zones, this year we'll be completing a playing ground located on Spark Street between Line and Kent. This area will take a little used space, this project will take a little used space and turn it into a gathering place for all. Featuring cubes built of steel, concrete, wood, granite. These stacked cubes will be a wonderful place for people, adults to have a coffee, and for kids in their imagination to climb mountains. These projects were in the concept stage until we received this wonderful news and this funding. So thank you very much for the incredible support from the federal government. Yasir Naqvi's office and his staff have been amazing. And the Federal Economic Development Agency for Southern Ontario. I'd also like to give a shout out to the staff at FedDev who have navigated us through the grant process and the reporting process. Have been absolutely phenomenal. When we've run into challenges, they have just pivoted and been spectacular. So a big thanks to the staff there. And with that, I'll pass it back to Yasir.
Well, thank you very much to all the friends who joined us. Congratulations again on receiving this important funding. I just cannot stress enough how thankful we are to you for the incredible work you do, at times with limited resources, but you punch way above your weight in really making sure that nobody's left behind in our community. There's so much work to be done, especially as we come out of this pandemic, as we rebuild our communities, as we revitalize our downtown core. All this work is happening because of your effort and your ideas and your tenacity, and I look forward to continue working with you. Thank you very much and have a good rest of the day.